Bosh chaps, welcome back to Who's Who, the series where we look at the most important historical figures of all time. Today, we step off the beaten track, quite literally, and into the world of puffing pistons, polished buffers, and blue engines with smiling faces. We're talking about the Reverend Wilbert via Awdry, clergyman, railway enthusiast, and the man who gave the world Thomas the Tank Engine. To many, he's simply the creator of a beloved children's character. But Awdry was so much more than that. He was a storyteller, a stickler for railway accuracy, and a man who believed that even engines had souls, if you only listened closely enough. So climb aboard, check your signals, and mind the gap, as we steam ahead into the life and legacy of the father of the railway series, the quiet force behind a global phenomenon, and a reverend with a reverence for rails. Wilbert Awdry was born on the 15th of June 1911 at Amfield Vicarage near Romsey, Hampshire. His father, Vere Awdry, was the Anglican vicar of Amfield, and his mother, Lucy Awdry, described her newborn son as a short but perfectly formed baby with long fingers and toes, a mouse face with the Awdry chin and ears, and a loud, persistent voice. From an early age, Awdry was fascinated by steam engines, believing that they had distinct personalities. He recalled listening to locomotives struggling up a gradient near his childhood home, imagining conversations between them. This memory later inspired the story of Edward helping Gordon's train up the hill, a tale he first told his son, Christopher, 25 years later. It eventually became part of the railway series' first book.
When my son, aged 3, had measles,
Yes.
he had to be kept amused.
Yes.
It was just as simple as that.
Awdry was educated at Marlborough House School in Hawkhurst, Kent, Dauncey School in West Lavington, Wiltshire, St Peter's Hall, Oxford, and Wycliffe Hall, Oxford, where he earned a diploma in theology in 1933. He taught at St John's School in Jerusalem, then part of Mandatory Palestine, from 1933 to 1936. Ordained as a Church of England deacon in 1936, and later as a priest, Awdry married Margaret Emily Whale in 1938. He served as a curate at St Nicholas Church, Kings Norton, Birmingham, before moving to Cambridgeshire as rector of Ellsworth with Napwell, and later as rural dean of Bourne. He then became a vicar of Emneth, Norfolk. After retiring from full-time ministry in 1965, Awdry settled in Rodborough, Stroud, Gloucestershire. Wilbert Awdry's famous characters and their first stories were created in 1942 to entertain his son Christopher when he was bedridden with measles. After writing the 3 railway engines, Awdry crafted a wooden model of Edward, along with wagons and coaches using a broomstick and scrap wood. Christopher also requested a model of Gordon, but due to wartime materials shortages, Awdry could only build a small 060 engine. He named it Thomas. Thus, Thomas the Tank Engine was born. Christopher then asked for stories about Thomas, leading to the publication of Thomas the Tank Engine in 1946. The first book in the railway series, The 3 Railway Engines, was published in 1945 by Edmund Ward in Leicester. Awdry went on to write 26 books in the series, the last in 1972, with Christopher later continuing the legacy by adding more volumes. In 1947, an 060T engine, number 1800, was built by Hudswell Clark and used at a British sugar factory in Peterborough to move sugar beet wagons. After being replaced by a diesel engine, it was acquired by the Peterborough Railway Society in 1973, and it became the famous blue Thomas engine at the Nene Valley Railway. Awdry was deeply involved in railway preservation. In 1952, he volunteered as a guard on the Tagline Railway in Wales, which inspired him to create the Skarloey Railway in his stories. His own experiences on the Italian railway were woven into the narratives. He was also a passenger on Alan Pagler's 1968 non-stop Flying Scotsman journey from London King's Cross to Edinburgh. From the 1950s onward, Awdry's writing evolved to reflect real-world railway changes, particularly the decline of steam, as British Railways phased out steam engines in favour of diesel. He incorporated this transition into a railway series, often portraying British Railways as the other railway, a stark contrast to his idyllic island of Sodor, where steam engines thrived. This shift gave the series a deeper connection to contemporary events. Beyond the Railway series, Awdry wrote both fiction and non-fiction. His book, Belinda the Beetle, followed the adventures of a red car, depicted as a Volkswagen Beetle in illustrated editions. In 1988, his second Farquhar model railway was displayed publicly for the last time and featured in an ITN news segment. He appeared on TVAM in 1990 to celebrate Thomas's 40th anniversary.
Well, they were first published in 1945, but I'd written them in 1943.
And children obviously still enjoy
the
reading
first
them
book.
now.
The first book, 3 railway engines.
Yes. And what prompted you to actually write them in the first place?
I've been answering that question for the last 40 years.
During these years, Awdry faced personal struggles, including health issues, depression, and the loss of his wife, brother, and close friend Teddy Boston. In 1995, he was interviewed by Nicholas Jones for Bookmark for Thomas the Tank Engine Man. Awdry was appointed an OBE in the 1996 New Year's Honours List, but his declining health prevented him from travelling to London to receive it. He passed away peacefully in his sleep on 21st of March 1997 at the age of 85 in Stroud, Gloucestershire. His ashes were interred at Gloucester Crematorium. In 2015, a CGI version of Awdry made a cameo in the Thomas and Friends feature-length special, Sodor's Legend of a Lost Treasure. Referred to by his railway series alias, The Thin Clergyman, the character appeared again in The Great Race in 2016 and several other instalments. In 2017, a pedestrian rail crossing in Chandlersford, Hampshire was dedicated to Awdry. The town, located near his birthplace of Anfield, has the closest railway station to where he was born. To commemorate the 75th anniversary of Thomas the Tank Engine, a blue plaque was unveiled in 2021 at the former rectory of Holy Trinity Church in Ellsworth, Cambridgeshire. Awdry wrote many of his books. The plaque was installed by Cambridge Past, Present and Future, with Awdry's family in attendance. His daughter Veronica Chambers expressed that she was delighted and moved by the tribute.
Steam engine, whether it's working hard or whether it's standing quietly, has always got something to say.